sun today, but I'm tracking our next cold front. I'll show you how soon the rain could arrive and walk you through the timeline.
Property tax debate. Today, state lawmakers are expected to vote on a bill that would pause reappraisals, offering homeowners relief, while local leaders say this could hurt schools. Overtime win. The Canes keep their playoff winning streak alive in nail-biting fashion. How the Canes sent the Caniacs home happy as the series moves to Philadelphia for Game 3. Stayed way too late watching that game, but it was well worth it. We're following those stories and more. WRAL News at 8 on Fox 50 starts in about 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good morning. The time is 8 a.m. here on your Tuesday. Thanks for joining us on Fox 50. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. We've got a lot to get to in this hour, so let's start with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Boy, the D-back looks great this morning.
It doesn't it? A beautiful blue sky here. We're looking at a few high thin clouds, but generally just a gorgeous start to the day. Our temperatures have been nice and cool, starting in the 50s. We're now at 60 in the Triangle with a southwest wind around 9 miles per hour. It'll be a little breezy for us this afternoon with some gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour, but a great day to get outside, maybe hit the Bulls. They're in a homestand right now. They're at the DBAP. 58 in Fayetteville, 55 in Roxborough, but 61 in South Hill, as well as Rocky Mount and Wilson, and 60 in Goldsboro right now. Again, as I mentioned, a little breezy. We can see what winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour after lunch. We'll see a cold front that gets closer to us tomorrow and brings us a chance of rain. But we're nice and dry this afternoon with high temperatures in the mid-80s, just a little bit warmer than yesterday. A small chance for rain late Wednesday, and then we'll see rain on and off Thursday. I'll show you how much we could see total coming up, Ken.
Let's put that 8:02. We're staying on top of this heavy congestion. We're picking up on I-40 westbound coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area. As we look live at I-40 at Jones Sausage Road, you can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic. Here's what happened just about 45 minutes ago. A crash right near the I-40, 440 interchange in southeast Raleigh, right in this area. Cleared, but you can still see the lingering delays stretching all the way back to Highway 70. So depending on where you are this morning, if you're just getting into your car in the Garner area, you might want to take Highway 70 as an alternate route because you're right now looking at a 13-minute delay. Things are getting better because about 15 minutes ago, that was a 30-minute delay. Just on the southern loop of the Belt Line, we're just looking at a 2-minute delay. The other troubled spot to the east of Raleigh, I-87, Highway 64, those lanes coming in from Zebulon as we look live at the area around Rindle Avenue, bumper-to-bumper traffic this morning. So checking the sensors this morning out of Zebulon, right now you're looking at an 18-minute delay. So keep in mind, Highway 97 is your best bet in terms of avoiding what's going on there on I-87, Highway 64 lanes. Widening out the view, we're looking at a 13-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest right now. There's that 14-minute delay coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area. We're also picking up some delays on US 1 coming in out of Apex, but very little delays if you're on I-40 eastbound coming in from the Durham area. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Raleigh police say 2 people broke into a vape and tobacco shop overnight. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker saw officers investigating just after 2:30 this morning at King Vape Tobacco and Hookah on Dixie Trail. A side door to the business appeared to be shattered. Officers found several items near the shop. Right now, we're working to learn whether any arrests have been made. The Wake County manager is proposing a 2-cent property tax increase as part of his new budget proposal. County manager Dave Ellis presented the more than $2 billion budget at last night's commissioners' meeting. The proposed increase would help offset a lack of funding in other areas. A 2-cent tax increase could end up costing Wake County homeowners an extra $90 a year. So as Wake County leaders discuss raising property taxes, state lawmakers are preparing to vote on a proposal that could prevent some counties from doing so. Let's get to WRAL's Ali Katlabar, who's been following this story at the state legislature building this morning. And Ali, this proposal has to do with reappraisals.
Yeah, it's at the top of mind for a lot of state lawmakers. That's property tax relief for residents. And this Senate bill stops counties from increasing property taxes based on reappraisals this year. So what this means is that county governments would not be able to raise the taxable value of your property. Now, at least a dozen counties, including Guilford and Harnett, are scheduled to reappraise properties this year. So if passed, Wake and Durham counties would not be affected by this year. Now, Wake is up for reappraisals next year. Durham is scheduled for 2029. The Senate bill would be a temporary pause on reappraisals while lawmakers look for long-term solutions. WRAL state government reporter Paul Spey explains what's next for the proposal if the Senate approves it today.
If this bill passes the Senate, it would still need to go to the House. They have their own ideas for limiting property taxes. We're going to see those play out on that side in committees, maybe later this week, maybe later this month.
So still a long way to go. Now, as for the Senate, it convenes at 9:30 this morning. WRAL will be there following with updates. You can check back with WRAL.com. Reporting live in Raleigh, Alec Adlabar, WRAL News.
Well, today, Wake school leaders will be one step closer to finalizing the district's budget. Newly proposed cuts could reduce classes at some high schools and impact certain school employees. Let's get to WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joining us live from Wake School's headquarters there in Cary. And Kelsey, if the state puts a cap on property tax increases, that could affect funding for school systems, would it not?
Yes, Ken, it could. This conversation about property taxes does have a connection to Wake County Public Schools budget. Today, school board members will be meeting here at the district headquarters to vote on recommended budget cuts. Superintendent Robert Taylor recommends more than $10 million in cuts. That's less than 1% of the total budget. The superintendent proposes cutting these costs and asking county commissioners to cover the rest. Wake County Manager David Ellis says he supports Taylor's request and recommends it to commissioners. However, he does anticipate funding cuts for the school system. He says it's too early to project how much. During a county budget presentation yesterday, Ellis explained that cuts are more likely to happen if the state puts a cap on property tax increases. School leaders are scheduled to vote on that today at 5:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
The SBI is investigating a deadly apartment fire in Carrboro. Sky 5 flew over that scene yesterday at the Hillmont Apartments on Fidelity Street. According to Carrboro, fire crews arrived to find the building already engulfed in heavy smoke and fire. One person died. At least 20 others were displaced. The Red Cross is helping them. No word on what caused that fire.
Happening today, Wake Med will share an update on its new partnership and possible partnership with Atrium. Last night, Wake County commissioners voted to delay their decision on Atrium's acquisition of Wake Med. North Carolina's treasurer and auditor asked the county to press pause on the deal so the state could better understand the potential impact to healthcare costs.
New this morning, search warrants are painting a picture of the moments leading up to a deadly shooting that happened at a Mooresville pizza restaurant back in February. This was the scene back in February 23rd at the Park West Village Shopping Center. The warrant shows the shooting happened at Rocca's Pizza. Now, a witness says the victim, Zachary Horn, was less than 10 feet away from the suspect, John Frazier III. The witness says Frazier took out a revolver and fired as Horn stepped toward him. Frazier was disarmed by people who saw the shooting, and one witness claims Frazier admitted to shooting Horn. Horn then left the pizza place and went into the crumble cookie store nearby. Horn was taken to a local hospital where he later died. Frazier has been charged with murder.
The families of the victims of Raleigh's mass shooting in the Headingham neighborhood have filed a new motion against a private security company. It was filed against Capitol Special Police, LLC, and Capitol Officer Nicole Locke. It claims Locke arrived late to work that day and that she didn't call 911 right away. Lawyers for the victims' families also requested the court to grant a partial summary judgment to show that Capitol Special Police and Locke neglected to keep the community safe that day.
Tensions are escalating in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military says it has sank 6 Iranian small boats in that waterway. Central Command says this is in response to Iran launching cruise missiles and drones at American Navy and commercial ships. This comes after U.S. vessels began passing through the Strait of Hormuz. So far, 2 U.S. flagships have successfully passed through that strait, but Iran has denied that any commercial ships have made it through.
Well, it took a little extra time and a come-from-behind effort, but the Carolina Hurricanes are still undefeated in the playoffs after a win over the Philadelphia Flyers in Game 2 of their series. The Flyers scored the first 2 goals of last night's game at Lenovo Center, but the Canes came back and tied it at 2, forcing overtime. And almost 19 minutes into that extra period, Taylor Hall scored to give the Canes the win. The Canes are now up 2-0 in the series. They'll head to Philadelphia for Game 3 on Thursday night. Puck drop is set for 8 p.m.
Well, time now 8:10. Deadly outbreak. 3 people died from a virus caught on a cruise ship. A UNC health expert shares the dangers and what to look out for during your summer travels.
And burn ban questions. Restrictions have been lifted for much of North Carolina. The reasons behind that decision from state officials while we remain in a drought. Elizabeth.
And it is nice to be outside. Our temperatures at lunchtime will be in the mid-70s, so great to eat lunch outside or dinner as our temperatures will drop on into the 70s this evening. We do have rain in our forecast, thankfully. I'll show you when. 8:13. We'll start with a live look at Apex this morning, looking down Salem Street. It looks nice out there. It's going to be great for walking up and down Salem Street or being outside wherever you like to be. Our temperatures this morning are starting to warm up. We were solidly in the 50s earlier, but creeping into the 60s now. Southern Pines, Raleigh, Durham, Rocky Mount, Goldsboro, Wilson, all in the low 60s. And we'll climb into the mid-80s for our highs this afternoon. So it'll be a warm one, but our humidity stays fairly low for it today. Looking ahead, we do have some rain in our forecast starting late tomorrow into Thursday. So we'll check out how much we'll see. And of course, we are in a serious drought problem right now. And so meteorologist Chris Michaels is coming up in a few minutes to talk about how it compares to our last worst drought. Ken?
Elizabeth, we're still picking up some heavy congestion coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area. Look live at I-40 and Jones Sausage Road. Boy, you can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic this morning. So if you're in the Garner area right now, you're getting ready to head out the door, I would go Highway 70 as an alternate route. Right now, you're looking at a 10-minute delay. So things are getting better on that southern loop of I-40, but right about now, it was about a 30-minute delay. Right now, you're only looking at a 10-minute delay at this hour.
Here in the WRAL Live Center, I've been listening in to the Pentagon briefing right now. The chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, is speaking. But just minutes ago, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth took the podium and gave an update on what they're calling Project Freedom. That is the U.S. campaign to ensure safe passage through ships through the Strait of Hormuz. And Secretary Hegseth calls Iran a clear aggressor in the Strait of Hormuz, accusing it of weaponizing a critical chokehold for its own benefit, saying that it ends with Project Freedom. Hegseth says 2 U.S. ships have passed through the strait, showing that the lane is clear. He says hundreds more are lining up for transit, that ships want to get out of the Iranian grip, and that U.S. ships will lead the way. He also said American destroyers, helicopters, drones are providing surveillance watch over peaceful passage. Hegseth says Project Freedom is a temporary mission, no timeline given to open the strait. And I'll continue to listen in on what Dan Kane has to say, and we'll update you here in the WRAL Live Center.
Okay, Renee, thank you. Nearly 150 cruise ship passengers are isolating this morning off the coast of Cape Verde after a deadly hantavirus outbreak. 3 people have died on that ship so far. 4 more are sick. The ship is currently not being allowed to dock. The World Health Organization plans to evacuate 2 patients that are seriously ill. Everyone on board is being told to follow strict isolation protocols and are being monitored for symptoms. So as health authorities deal with that deadly outbreak, a UNC expert is now urging people not to panic about their own travel plans. Hantavirus is a rare disease spread by rodents. It can spread to humans through contact with infected rodent droppings, urine, or saliva. A UNC expert told us the situation on the cruise ship is scary, but you shouldn't be alarmed if you have a cruise in your future.
I don't think most people should be worried about going on a cruise ship with this particular disease because it's so unusual. And I believe this is the first attack on cruise ships compared to other things such as norovirus.
The World Health Organization echoed his message, saying the risk of human-to-human transmission is extremely low.
A Duke Energy merger received final approval. The company now will move forward with combining its two utilities, Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress. Duke claims the move will lead to billions in savings for customers with more modern infrastructure. Some energy advocates say, though, it will probably do the opposite effect. Well, Black Creek Greenway in Cary completed phase 2 of the project. This includes reopening Livingstone Drive to Weston Parkway. There's a new pedestrian bridge over Cary Parkway, along with an upgraded 1-mile section featuring improved alignment and reduced flooding impacts. The section from Weston Parkway to the old Reedy Creek Road trailhead is now closed as phase 3 of construction starts.
Well, WRAL is getting answers from the NC State Forest Service after 81 counties across the state had its burn ban lifted. That is despite the ongoing drought conditions. That leaves the question, why are the bans lifted in some places and not others? So we caught up with campers who were enjoying the week at Jordan Lake. Charles Helton and his family camp multiple times a year, and while he says he'll miss having a campfire, they have propane cooking in the camper.
It's okay, but I'd rather cook, on that grate right there, cook a steak or chicken or whatever. That's what we usually do, but we're equipped either way. We even got a microwave in there.
So the North Carolina Fire Service says a number of factors came together to allow them to lift the ban in the other 81 counties. That includes an inch or more of rain, increased humidity, and a green up of plants, which make them more fire resistant. The drought of 2007 and 2008 cost North Carolina's agriculture industry more than $500 million. So how does the current drought compare? Meteorologist Chris Michaels shows us the significant differences in today's Ask the Meteorologist. Chris.
Yeah, and this one is more of a slow burn as opposed to what happened in the summer and fall of 2007 there. But really over the past several months, since September, each month has had a significant rainfall deficit. Over the winter, some of that had to do with La Nina. It's an ocean pattern in the Pacific that altered the jet stream here to keep a lot of storm systems away from us. Meanwhile, right now, high pressure situated over the eastern U.S. has kept a lot of the beneficial rain away from us and a lot of the storms toward the Midwest and the plains. That's led us into an extreme drought, something that happens statistically once every 20 to 50 years. But back in 07 and heading into early 08, 67% of North Carolina, or roughly that, was in an exceptional drought, which is the worst category you can get into on the drought monitor. It happened really quickly after a hot summer, at which point evaporation rates were higher, and that's what really depleted us of our water resources. There were also 2 separate instances in which burn bans were issued. Obviously hoping we don't have a repeat of that, so we need more rain chances. Elizabeth, at least one on the way by midweek.
Yeah, thanks for that comparison. I think that's something that's on a lot of people's minds who were living here at that time. And it's hard to say, but like you say, hopefully that won't happen, especially if we can keep some of these chances for rain going. It starts again tomorrow into Thursday, and then another chance Sunday into Monday. So a couple of chances coming our way. Some high thin clouds right now. It's a beautiful start to the day. Southwest wind at about 9 miles per hour. Could become a bit breezy later on today. And temperature right now in the triangle right around 60. Here comes that next front, and you can see some rain with it. There have been a few strong thunderstorms. There is a chance for severe weather with this over the next couple of days, but not by the time it moves into North Carolina. Here's what we're expecting. Showers mid to late afternoon on Wednesday, rain on and off Thursday, and then a few strong storms possible on Thursday evening. Often what happens if we see rain at the beginning of a system like we'll see with this one, it tends to kind of settle the atmosphere down, and there's not as good a chance for severe storms. And that may happen for us. We have a small chance for some rain there by the evening on Friday. That's a little less as a brand new run of the computer models that just came in, a little bit less than the last run. But by midnight, we have a good chance for some rain that rolls in. We could see that on and off during the morning. We may have some rain in the region in the morning on Thursday. And then as the front comes through, we could have some scattered storms developing along it in the afternoon and evening Thursday. That's when we would have the best chance of any severe storms. For today, it's a level 1 and 2 risk from Texas to Kentucky, and it just sort of elongates from Texas Texas to the mountains of North Carolina for tomorrow. But by Thursday, we're looking at a level 1 risk to our south and not necessarily in any part of our viewing area. We'll keep our eye on it, obviously. How much rain could we see in the next 5 days? Looking at anywhere from a half an inch to an inch of rain. Of course, we have that potential late Sunday into early Monday. So we still need as much as 11 to 15 inches of rain to get out of the drought. And we're looking at maybe a half an inch to an inch in the next few days. Checking outdoor plans for this weekend, we're looking at a nice warm Mother's Day, our high temperature 83, and no rain until late that evening. Ken?
What's happening now? We're staying on top of that heavy congestion. We're picking up on I-40 westbound coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area. As we look live at I-40 Jones Sausage Road, you can see the heavy bumper-to-bumper traffic this morning. Right now, you're looking at just a 7-minute delay. It's been fluctuating between double digits and single digits. So right now, things are getting better. That's southern loop of the Beltline. We are picking up some delays. You're looking at a 6-minute delay. The other troubled spot, boy, to the east of Raleigh, I-87 Highway 64 lanes coming in out of Zebulon. As we look live at that area of Arundel Avenue. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us by bumper-to-bumper traffic this morning. And it's looked that way for the last hour or so. Right now, you're looking at an 11-minute delay. So keep in mind, you can take Highway 97 as an alternate route just to be on the safe side, particularly if you're in a rush this morning. As we widen out the view, we're picking up a 12-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning. We're also seeing some heavy congestion building on US 1 coming in from Apex. You're just looking at a 7-minute delay and just a 5-minute delay for those folks navigating I-40 eastbound at this hour.
Coming up, broken again. Elevator repairs have plagued a senior apartment complex for a month. 5 on your side explains what your rights are as a tenant and renter.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with another sunny day. Elizabeth, we have in store here.
It's a pretty one out there. We'll take a live look here at downtown Apex, down Salem Street. Plenty of sunshine to kick things off today. We started mainly in the low to mid 50s, and now we're climbing on up into the 60s in some places. 60 in Durham and Raleigh, 61 in Southern Pines, Wilson, Goldsboro, and in Rocky Mount. By lunchtime, it's 75, and we'll climb into the mid 80s for this afternoon. It stays nice and dry today. Great day to get outside. Tomorrow, we'll add some rain to the forecast coming up on Fox 50. I'll show you when. Ken?
Elizabeth, still tracking some heavy congestion on I-40 westbound coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area. As you look live at I-40 and Jones Sausage Road, the bumper-to-bumper traffic that we're seeing this morning. Right now, you're looking at an 8-minute delay between Highway 36 and the Beltline. So things are getting better. About a half hour ago, that was up to double digits. So that's southern loop of the Beltline. We're also picking up a 6-minute delay at this hour. I'll have another update on your morning commute at the bottom of the hour.
Raleigh police say 2 people broke into a vape and tobacco shop overnight. The WRAL breaking news tracker saw officers investigating a King Vape Tobacco and Hookah on Dixie Trail that's near NC State's campus. A side door to the business appeared to be shattered. Well, today the state Senate is expected to pass a proposal that could pause property reappraisal for some counties this year. Counties wouldn't be able to raise the taxable value of your property. The Senate convenes at 9:30. Coming up next on Fox 50, how the future of budget airlines could impact flights at RDU. And coming up on Today, the cast of Titanic performs on the plaza.
Sunny and warm today, but I'm tracking our next cold front. I'll show you how soon the rain could arrive and walk you through the timeline.
Property tax debate. Today, state lawmakers are expected to vote on a bill that would pause reappraisals, offering homeowners relief, while local leaders say this could hurt schools. Overtime win. The Canes keep their playoff winning streak alive in nail-biting fashion. How the Canes send the Caniacs home happy as the series moves to Philadelphia for Game 3. Lots to get through in this half hour. We always appreciate your time. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Laura Levine, waking up to some mild temperatures. I have to say, Elizabeth, when I walked out the door and saw it was like 60 degrees, I knew it was going to be another hot day.
Yeah, we're going to climb all the way up into the mid-80s for highs this afternoon. It looks pretty out there right now as we take a look past the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. Lots of blue sky out there. It is 60 degrees right now, and our wind is southwest at around 9 miles per hour. Likely to climb into the mid-70s at lunchtime. So it's going to be one of those days that It feels really comfortable. We don't have a lot of humidity in our forecast for today. It's still 58 in Fayetteville, 61 in Goldsboro, and 57 in Roxborough, but temperatures are just starting to warm up. It's also likely to be breezy, a southwest wind gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour. It's not strong enough to cause any problems, but you'll just notice that it's breezy. Mid-80s by the middle of the afternoon, and then dropping into the 70s by around 8 p.m. We do have the potential for some rain. We're looking at that chance late Wednesday into Thursday. We'll see it on and off during the day Thursday, along with a front. So we'll be tracking that and talk about how much rain we could see coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, we're still picking up some heavy congestion on I-40 westbound coming in from the Gardner-Johnston County area. This is a live look at I-40 at Jones Sausage Road. Boy, bumper-to-bumper traffic. Right now, you're just picking up a 5-minute delay from the Highway 36 to the Beltline. It's really getting a lot better. That southern loop of the Beltline, we're picking up a 7-minute delay as well. The other troubled spot was to the east of Raleigh this morning. Boy, I-87, Highway 64, things are beginning to thin out in those westbound lanes coming toward us this morning. There's a live look at Arundel Avenue, but it's really thinning out a lot better this morning. But take a look at what we're talking about in terms of the delays that we're seeing there. Right now, you're just looking at a 2-minute delay, so really nothing that's going to make you late at this hour. So just keep that in mind. Highway 97 is also an alternate route. Now, as we widen out the view, we're picking up some heavy congestion coming in from the Apex area, looking at a 10-minute delay on US 1 North. Similarly, if you're coming on US 1 South, Capitol Boulevard, if you will, out of Wake Forest, you're looking at an 11-minute delay, but all the other routes, I-40 eastbound, I-87, relatively delay-free at this hour. As always, you're getting ready to head into your car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. Our news continues right now as we take a look at 2 people, Raleigh police say, broke into a vape and tobacco shop. A side door to the business appeared to be shattered. Officers found several items near the shop. We're working to learn more about exactly what happened. A $228 billion situation that we're telling you about this morning. Here's what we're talking about. That's how much the Wake County manager proposed in next year at last year's meeting. It comes with an increase in property taxes. The Wake County manager, David Ellis' outlook for the next fiscal year is bleak. The county expects to earn $40 to $50 million a year in new revenue, but this year it was just $8 million. All of that went to public safety. They're also making up the difference with a one-time $35 million withdrawal from reserves. The property tax increase will add another $62 million. The 2-cent increase would cost the average homeowner $90 more this year. As Wake
County looks to increase property taxes, the state Senate is also expected to pass a proposal that could prevent other counties from raising property taxes this year. Let's get to WRAL's Ali Katlabar. She is live at the state legislative building in downtown Raleigh this morning. Ali, this proposal has to do with reappraisals.
Yeah, and property tax relief, it's on the top of minds for a lot of state lawmakers this session. This Senate bill could stop counties from increasing property taxes based on reappraisals this year. Now, what this means is that the county governments would not be able to raise the taxable value of your property. The bill would be a temporary pause on reappraisals while lawmakers look for long-term solutions. At least a dozen counties, including Guilford and Harnett, are scheduled to reappraise properties this year. So if passed, Wake and Durham counties would not be affected this year. Wake is up for reappraisals next year and Durham is scheduled for 2029. Local officials say the bill could still hurt their ability to pay for services and education funding. Now, the Senate convenes in the next hour. WRAL will be following with updates. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Katlabar, WRAL News.
Well, today, Wake school leaders will be one step closer to finalizing the district's budget. Newly proposed cuts could reduce classes at some high schools and impact certain school employees. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at the Cary headquarters this morning to explain how the property tax increases that could affect funding for school systems.
This conversation about property taxes plays into Wake County Public Schools budget. Today, Wake school leaders will be meeting here at the district headquarters to vote on recommended budget cuts. Superintendent Robert Taylor recommends more than $10 million in cuts. That's less than 1% of the total budget. The superintendent proposes cutting these costs and asking county commissioners to cover the rest. County manager David Ellis says he supports Taylor's request and recommends it to commissioners. However, However, he does anticipate funding cuts for the school system. During the county budget presentation yesterday, Ellis explained that those are more likely to happen if the state puts a cap on property tax increases. When we asked him about how much funding could be cut, this was his response.
It's too early to project exactly how much it potentially could be, but my job is to prepare the board for what may come next. And if we don't have some changes in the near future, we will be looking at cuts moving forward.
School leaders are scheduled to vote today at 5:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Cary.
And right now at the top of the hour, Pete Hegseth and Dan Kane just finished up their briefing at the Pentagon, and want to give you some takeaways here. Reporters directly asked the defense secretary, is the ceasefire over? And that's because Iran has attacked U.S. forces more than 10 times since the ceasefire went into effect. But the General Dan Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, says that is below the threshold for the U.S. to restart combat operations. No American ships were hit. The U.S. did destroy 6 Iranian boats in the Strait recently. And Secretary Hegseth says the ceasefire still holds. He said there was some expectation that would be some, quote, churn, that the U.S. would defend aggressively, and that the president will make a decision on whether anything Iran does would escalate into further action. Hegseth focused his remarks on the U.S. efforts to open the Strait of Hormuz, what they're calling Project Freedom, and they talked about the U.S. establishing significant presence in the Strait of Hormuz to open up a free flow of commerce there.
Renee, thank you. We're hearing from neighbors after a huge apartment fire in Scarborough that killed one person and left many others without a home. Sky 5 flew over that scene yesterday at the Hillmont Apartments on Fidelity Street. According to Scarborough Fire, crews arrived there around 4 p.m. to find the building already engulfed in heavy flame and smokes there. A neighbor shares the moment she saw the fire headed toward her home.
I was actually upstairs in my apartment and came outside to see sparks flying from the end unit and the roof.
The Red Cross is helping the people who are out of their homes. No word on what caused this.
Well, today we'll get an update from the Army Corps of Engineers about the lake levels in the Triangle and water restrictions. Falls Lake was expected to get 1/4 inch of rain over the weekend, but we still need almost a foot of rain to help us get out of the drought. Right now, 10 cities and towns across the Triangle are facing water restrictions due to the low water levels. Today's update will happen around 10 o'clock this morning. Goldsboro says it will continue encouraging voluntary water conservation. City leaders are suggesting small changes like taking shorter showers, running full loads of laundry, and limiting how often you use your sprinkler system. Well, the city of Raleigh water customers are still under water restrictions where they can only use sprinklers on certain days. The city telling us they expect restrictions to remain in place until at least June. The city says residents have conserved millions of gallons of water since the rules went into effect 2 weeks ago.
Happening today, Wake Med will share an update on its possible new partnership with Atrium. Last night, Wake County commissioners voted to delay their decision for 90 days on Atrium's acquisition of Wake Med. North Carolina's treasurer and auditor asked the county to press pause on this deal so that the state could better understand the potential impact to healthcare costs. The man charged in a hit-and-run crash that killed a person on South Wilmington Street in Raleigh is due in court this afternoon. Investigators say 22-year-old Chandler Brown hit and killed 59-year-old Robert Henderson, who was walking on the right shoulder just before 3:30 yesterday morning on South Saunders Street. Sky 5 flying over that scene, as you can see. Police say Henderson fell from the South Wilmington Street bridge onto South Saunders Street. Brown is facing charges including hit and run, death by motor vehicle, and driving while intoxicated.
Time now, 8:40. Coming up, expansion threatened. The future of budget airlines up in the air following Spirit's collapse. What it could mean for flights at RD International.
Plus, elevator problems persist. 5 on Your Side explains what has and hasn't changed after a WRAL investigation at a senior apartment complex and how to protect your rights as a tenant.
Our next weather maker is this cold front producing some thunderstorms across parts of the Midwest. We'll get some rain out of it. I'll show you what time it arrives and how much we might see. 8:44. What a beautiful day to spend some time outside. Temperatures will be comfortably warm, a little breezy, not much humidity. Right here, we're taking a look at Longleaf Golf and Family Club. I'm surprised there's nobody out here on the putting green right now. I imagine that will change sometime soon. Temperatures are in the upper 50s and low 60s as you're heading out the door right now. 61 Southern Pines, 60 in Raleigh, 61 in Wilson and Rocky Mount. So it feels comfortable. If you're headed out to your kids' practices after school with them, temperatures will be in the mid 80s by 4 and 5 o'clock, and then by 7 o'clock we're back down to around 80 degrees. So it will feel warm, but a shady spot should feel pretty comfortable. Things will be a little more interesting tomorrow. We'll have some late day showers, expect rain on and off, and even a few thunderstorms on Thursday. I'll walk you through the potential coming up. Kent?
Elizabeth, we're still picking up some heavy congestion on I-40 westbound coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area, looking at I-40 Jones Sausage Road. These are the westbound lanes if we're heading away from us, bumper-to-bumper traffic. Right now, you're looking at just a 2-minute delay, so things are moving around rather nicely. But once you get to that 440 interchange and you take that southern loop of the Beltline, you're looking at an 11-minute delay. So you might want to consider using the northern loop of the Beltline, depending on where you're headed at this hour.
Ken, thank you. Broken again. WRAL told you about concerns about an elevator broken for weeks at the Maria Farm Apartments in Henderson. Well, last week it got fixed, but 5 on your side's Alex Littlehouse found out it's broken once again, and he looks into protections that you have as a tenant and renter.
A story that was supposed to be about a repaired elevator is instead about a problem without a fix again. Last week, the Department of Labor inspected the one elevator at the Mariah Parham Apartments and found no violations. A significant update shortly after WRAL reported its weeks-long break this April.
Have your friends personally been impacted by the elevator? Have they not been able to get out?
Yes.
Okay.
Not been able to get out at all because they can't walk.
But WRAL learned the elevator broke again. Residents have now been without a regularly functioning elevator for about a month, adding to initial concerns for a complex advertised for senior citizens, with the international symbol for access even on the outside.
WRAL reached out to several organizations about what tenants can do in situations like this.
The Fair Housing Act protects tenants in situations like this, but with a lot of parameters. For example, if an elevator is out of service, housing providers have an obligation to ensure tenants with disabilities have, quote, equal use and enjoyment of their home. Property managers told WRAL Monday a new part has been ordered and may be installed this week. Disability Rights NC weighed in on the problems too. Tenants with disabilities are entitled to equal use and enjoyment of their home, meaning they can request accommodations like relocation to a new apartment, relocating to a new hotel, and assistance with groceries and medications. Alex Littlehales, 5 on your side.
Today, the Wake County School Board will be debating changing the calendar at 8 schools. It's part of an effort to cut costs at schools that are no longer overcrowded. The multi-track year-round schools would convert to a traditional or another year-round calendar. Multi-track year-round calendars divide students into groups and rotate the groups in and out of school at different times. It allows the school to enroll more students, but it also costs more because school is open for 12 months out of the year. Parents voiced their support to keep the year-round calendar at a public hearing last month, but some say they feel their feedback is not being heard.
You know, parents are rightfully upset. They gave us this opportunity to make our voices heard, and we did like they asked, and it's still not being considered.
Today's discussion starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon. You can look for updates on our website, WRAL.com, or the WRAL News app.
Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani is now breathing on his own as he fights pneumonia. He's in critical condition in a Florida hospital. Giuliani was diagnosed with restrictive airway disease following the September 11th attacks. He was put on a mechanical ventilator over the weekend. Well, former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle is receiving one of the state's top honors months after his death. Governor Josh Stein gave him the Order of the Lone Leaf Pine. Biffle's niece accepted the award on his behalf. Biffle and his family died in a plane crash last year. The former driver was on the front lines of Helene relief, airlifting supplies on dozens of trips to western North Carolina.
Well, the future of low-cost flying at RDU International is in the spotlight after the abrupt collapse of Spirit Airlines. As we look live at RDU International this morning, recent data from the airport shows low-cost and ultra-low-cost carriers account for roughly a third of the market share at RDU. Spirit made up just over 1% of that. With the budget airline now gone, passengers are left concerned about potentially higher airfares.
Fuel costs are up right now, and so I think that's led to higher costs for airfare. I think it is important to have as many carriers as possible, because I think that does at least keep some competitive balance in there and what they can do.
RDU spokesperson tells us the airport is seeing growth among budget carriers despite Spirit's departure. Low-cost carrier Breeze Airways now flies to more destinations than any other airline at RDU International.
Cameron Diaz's new baby.
And a night of high fashion at the Met Gala. Here's a look at what's trending this morning. You can always count on the Met Gala to kick the glitz and glamour up a notch. This year's theme for the fundraiser, costume art. We saw some interesting ensembles from stars like Beyonce, Madonna, Blake Lively, and Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, so many people took this theme and went all out. I mean, Beyonce in this bejeweled skeleton looking amazing. Blake Lively, she looked great as well. I mean, so many people really took the party. Heidi Klum, did you see? Did you see what she had on?
Well,
she was a literal piece of art.
She's always amazing.
Yes.
But that event raised more than $42 million for the museum, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, what a great night. Well, actress Cameron Diaz and her husband, Benji Madden, have announced the birth of their third new baby, a baby boy named Not As Madden. Diaz's husband, Madden, made the announcement on Instagram. He says his son's name represents someone who embarks on a journey.
Well, Diaz is in her early 50s, and of course, motherhood comes later for her, but she says she's loving every minute of it.
What a miracle, for
Love
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Well, now let's head over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking a beautiful day, albeit warm day shaping up.
Our high temperatures in the mid-80s for this afternoon, a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday. It's a beautiful start to the day. We take a look at downtown Raleigh. This is from the Well Departments over near Dix Park, and you can see all that pretty sunshine and just a little bit of high, thin cloud cover. 60 degrees is our current temperature, so it's starting to warm up already. Southwest wind at 9 miles per hour will keep our temperatures fairly warm today. It's 55 in Chapel Hill, 59 in Holly Springs, 60 in Morrisville, 62 right now in Clayton. Around town, we'll hit mid-80s around mid to late afternoon, maybe even 85 there in Fayetteville. Of course, it's going to be a great day for spending some time outside. If you're looking for some evening entertainment, the Bulls start a homestand, I should say, this evening. It's going to be great tonight. 6 p.m., 83 degrees, 76 at 8 p.m., first pitch at 6:45. So it'll feel great out there, nice and dry and low humidity. Tomorrow, 84, but we do have some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, or at least some showers late in the day Wednesday, and then some showers on and off Thursday. It'll be cooler with a high of 77 degrees. A 70% chance of rain on Thursday, but let's walk you through it. We'll start things off at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, and we're fairly dry at that point. A couple of isolated showers could roll through during the evening commute, but nothing that looks like it'll cause any real problems. A little bit heavier down near Fayetteville. And then at 9 o'clock, all is fine, but we do have the potential for some rain overnight, Thursday night. We may have some waves where it's a little heavier. This is a look at 6 a.m., and we're looking at those showers moving across our area. Note that the cold front will come through Thursday evening, and that is when we'll have a better chance of some scattered thunderstorms. So we'll be watching out for that. 84 today, 77 on Thursday. It all moves out with some sunshine for us on Friday with 71 degrees. And then Sunday for Mother's Day, it looks dry and warm again, 83. But Sunday night into Monday will bring us another good chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Our high temperatures will be warmest over the next few days. Nothing dramatic out there in terms of heat, and 2 chances for rain, which is definitely great news.
Okay, Elizabeth, thank you. Well, before we go to break, here's a look at the winning lottery numbers. We will get another check on weather and traffic next.